I also got married twice. At first I was a widow, and then I got divorced, simply because when you are, I always tell people that you don't choose the arts choose you. And that is truer than anything you'll ever understand, because for me, in order to find happiness, I had to walk away with what society considered conventional acceptance and start to forge my own path. And by doing so, I lost so much. I lost my marriage, I lost a lot of credibility with my family. I lost a sense of self and belonging. But in doing so, I also found where I belonged. So by doing that, I make no apologies anymore for who I am, because I have walked a road that nobody should be forced to do. And to be a woman in a space like the filmmaking industry, where my sister and I own the only female-led production house I've tried it all. I'm over 40, so I cannot honestly tell you that I might make a mistake. Every step I take is categorically to where I have to be. And honestly, what a journey. I meet people like Joram, I meet people like General, Jody. I'm reporting for duty. I see people in this room, Dora. By the way, this woman and her husband invested in my first film premiere. I know they don't want to tell you that, but so we for the first time in Uganda, we were peddling these packages of like, we're doing a premiere, we need you to invest in it. Everyone was looking at us like, what? No. And then Dora and Nader were like, okay, we can give you like a small 8 mil. I was like, what? Do you even know what you did for me? That was the first ever gesture that I was on the right track with what I was doing. Thank you, Nader and Dora Barak. I honestly, when I saw her here today, I was like, and she's pregnant again.
Definition of like success. So, I went on to school, studied urban planning at uni, but then I did it simply because the person that was paying my tuition was like, you have to study and work in an office. As simple as that. So amidst all that, many years later, I turned out to be a model agent. And everyone in my family is like, oh my God, Oya Tundava Malaya. Modeling, to them, they considered modeling to be prostitution. The minute you said, oh, I am a fashion model, I work with models, to them, the whole thing was prostitution. So literally I'm not going to say my whole family, that literally my biggest part of the family was absolutely against me. But then I told my story, this is my passion, this is what I want, this is what I believe in, this is where my heart is. So to cut the long story short, I was running to everyone that I believed will push my career to the fullest. And I'm happy that in this room, there's so many people of them. I remember the days I used to go to African Woman. Mama, I love you very much. Very best person to push my dream. So many years later, I opened up an agency, JMM, but even when I opened the agency, a lot of people in my family were like, no, that is prostitution. Truly, but doctors, we are lawyers, we are professors, you're embarrassing the whole clan. But 10 years later, we have girls that are working in Paris, London, New York, Milan, and I contribute heavily to all the family finances, to everyone in the family. So when we go for family meetings, everyone's like, oh my God, you get it, something like that. So my escape story is me channeling the energy, the negative energy that came in from people that I love the most, to me becoming a beacon of hope and changing so many lives of so many young girls out there. And I am grateful that I followed my passion. So to everyone in this room that is listening, you can break those barriers. You can escape from people not believing in you, and you change the narrative to you becoming an inspiration to so many people out there. That's my escape story. I remember auditioning for Big Brother so many times, 6 seasons in a row. 6 of them in a row. Right? In a row. And every time I go to these auditions, they'll tell me, oh, maybe your personality is lacking, maybe you're not great enough, maybe you're ABCD, maybe ABCD. But I mean, look at me, 10 years later. Okay? So to the young person out there who's, listening, and whoever is going to be watching this, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You have to be very patient. And then the other thing is, you have to believe in the power of collaborations, to be honest. It doesn't happen individually. It doesn't. Like one person like this can't change the world. As much as, you know, they say, oh, you have the power, you are great at this, you're doing ABCD. When you look at everyone in this room brings something. They bring a spice to this event. And I'm so happy that to everyone that is in this room, they've pushed my career to the fullest. I see stylists, designers, events. I don't know whether that makes sense. So be grounded, be grounded. Extremely grounded, and also be humble however much you reach to the top, because me, I strongly believe that every top of every mountain is just the start of everything. You could be the star here, but if they throw you in New York, you're literally just going to go back to, you know, the basics. So however much fame that you have in this business, stay grounded, absolutely grounded. And of course, also you have to believe in yourself more than anyone else. Like I said, I come from this family that is full of professors, doctors, lawyers, engineers. A lot of them never believed in me. Only my big sister, she's called Drusilla Mazira, I'm giving you all the shout outs. The only one person that believed that, John, that's not prostitution, because she did Miss Uganda so many years ago, 2002. So when she did this, everyone in my family kept saying, but John, you're very smart. You need to be a lawyer. You need to be an engineer. You have to be a doctor. You have to be all these things. You get it? So, you know, I'm teaching girls how to talk, how to speak, how to do all these things. So everyone in my family is like, oh, that one sells prostitutes, something like that. But I'm so happy that I didn't give up on my passion. I didn't give up on who I am truly as a human being. Because also working in a female-dominated industry, you must have a lot of, you know, self-respect as well. Because the temptations are insane. Absolutely insane. So many people come and they'll give you offers. They'll say, oh, can we do this? We're going to give you 100 million. Can we have ABCD? But for you to stand up and say, sorry, this is not right, you have to be very professional. You have to stick to your ethics. And at the end of the day, you have to know that you are the business as well. Today you're in, tomorrow you're out. And for you to have longevity in this business, so much has to be done, like absolutely so much. But be a good person, collaborations, be professional, be disciplined, self-belief. For you to say, I am going to walk into any door, walk head high, and I will walk in and take on any global space. So to me, stream or whatever, the best advice that I can give, honestly, I feel like it is the self-esteem, the passion, the confidence, and you believing in yourself, and then you can take over anything. Because it all starts with you. The mind is very powerful. Speak to yourself. Tell yourself, I got this. I can do this. And any space will open up. That is why I hate to put people in a box. Even with the models. For example, when you look at Amita Lagoon, she's not just a fashion model, right? She's into acting, she's doing philanthropy. You look at Patricia Akello, they're opening up so many other things that they're doing. So we can't just box people in a box and tell them, this is exactly what you need to be. Provided someone believes in themselves more than anyone else, all it takes is that self-belief, and any space you can shatter, you can get it. And above. Thank you.
Wow, beautifully said. I don't believe we can say this any better. And speaking of collaborations, we want to thank everyone who's come on board. Kazabu Hair, Kakira Ram, of course, Kai Dibo Collection. Thank you so much for dressing the stars. A restock, Oliver Nakakande Foundation. Be sure to get a book, of course. Miss Uganda Foundation, we want to thank you so much. Sheraton Hotel.
Queen Hannah, come on. You're gonna finish this for me. Give it up for Queen Hannah. She's a Bible genius. You're reciting this without even reading? Come on. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing. Okay, so Psalms 121.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This was my verse when I was growing up.
Yes.
I look up to the mountains.
Yes,
and
Lord.
where will my help come from?
Amen.
My help will come from the Almighty God. I guess that's it.
The creator of
Thank you very much.
The creator of heaven and earth.
It continues. He will not let your foot sleep. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will never slumber, nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not warm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore.
Amen.
Psalms 121. So this This very chapter here spoke to me this morning. I usually randomly open my Bible and I speak to the Lord. I'm like, please guide me to a chapter. This is it. And I felt like it's perfect. Perfect for this day, perfect for this launch, perfect for me in particular, and telling my story. So like I said, I'm going to be very brief. Should I? Should I get into detail? Something I don't like. So I felt trapped. So I wrote this book in particular for those reasons. And I was fully inspired by my real life events and how I ran away from sexual harassment and bullying. You guys, I was harassed. And when I've spoken to many girls and women, we share this same story. How many of ladies here, if you're not shy, like you've been sexually harassed, you can just raise up your hand. Please don't be ashamed. We're here to celebrate that we escaped, that shame, that embarrassment, and here we are now, rising over all that. So this is why I wrote this book, to create that inspiration. So taking you back, during my Miss Uganda journey, I encountered many young girls with similar stories to mine. And surprisingly, when I saw these girls, when the girls saw me with the crown, they actually thought that I was just Miss Uganda and I don't have a history or background. But when I shared my story to them, they didn't believe it. That I came from somewhere, escaped a lot of trauma. And the reason why I wrote this book is because I love also to encourage the culture of reading. I know Ugandans, we don't love to read. Why? Why don't we like reading?
Hereditary, oral tradition.
That is why actually I made the book extremely tiny, just a few pages, only 7 chapters, and also very affordable. Why? Because I want you guys to read. Please promise me you're going to read that book. Please. Yeah, so I therefore wrote The Escape with a very clear purpose. I was very clear in my mind. I wanted to inspire, empower, and uplift young Ugandan girls and also young women all around the world. So I believe that our stories have the power to transform lives. And through my own experiences, I hope to shed a light to so many other lives out there. Okay, the speech continues. So my target audience, for The Escape is primarily young girls in Uganda. Why? Because I know firsthand what they go through, and I wrote this book specifically for them. So, but you can also, as an adult, if you're not a Ugandan girl or boy, you can look for the book. You can enjoy the book, or you can gift the book. But our target audience is specifically Ugandan girls.
We are going to be the best. I am waiting. But this is the closest class. They check up on each other. One time, I'm in that group, they were thinking about investing together as a class of 2019. So girls, better work on that. I'm here to support you, to advise you. You can do it. So one time we were sharing with Oliver in the car. I was dropping her home. So she was telling me her story growing up and everything. I told her, Oliver, do you know I was a total orphan by the time I was 11? She looked at me and said, no. I said, yeah. I was a total orphan. At 5, then at around 10, going on to 11. So by age 14, I was literally fending for myself. But I managed to do that because of taking up opportunities, using my talent, and being very disciplined. Cleo, Nana, Joram, everyone emphasized how discipline is very important. Taking opportunities, not asking funira wa. All I needed was a platform to show what I can do. I guess it's evident in the way I do, stuff at Miss Uganda. It is about giving you platform, empowering you to be a better version of yourself, and then being better. In this room, own a fashion house, and she has a team of ushers, very professional. I've been at events where Santina's girls are working, and I'm like, oh my God. I keep telling, I'm so proud of you. Your girls are so good, so polite, so hardworking, so focused. So we have business people here. We have Musao Brony here. We have a boss, Madam Human Resource. Please stand up. So this is the next me, this is the next Nana KAGGA, this is the next Remy Malay, this is the next Gloria Haguma. These are women, and we need such platforms for these young women. We do.
Silence. I get emotional, but now I've learned to make humor, like make fun out of it. But seriously, I lost my mom at 15. And she was like my backbone, my everything, like how I am with my daughter. She's 9 now. And when I lost my mom, I felt like I needed to prove myself to be kept, to be cared for, to have a home, to belong. So I worked triple hard at school. I became the 19th in a class of 180 kids. I became, so for me that was my escape story, is losing my mom and becoming an orphan completely, because I didn't meet my dad, and my dad had died before I was born. My mom was pregnant with me when he was killed in the Obote regime. Yes, so that's my escape story.
I hope you're taking notes, because I'm already emotional.
I don't want to tell you how old I am, but when I was younger, being dark was not beautiful. It's the new melanin age, it's the new black girl magic, but when I was growing up, you had to be light to be beautiful. You had to be fair-skinned to be beautiful. The Afro is my escape story. I had to find a way to express myself that did not require me to bleach my skin. And and it's amazing to sit here and look in a room full of so many beautiful black-skinned girls. No offense, Cleo. I'm claiming this one. Yeah. Back in the day, Cleo was beautiful. Now I sit here and I see Olivia. Okay, I see you too. Is it okay to you're white? Okay, so you're beautiful too, but it's amazing to sit here today and see so many dark-skinned women owning their skin color and not being apologetic about it. So that's my escape story. My hair was a way of expressing how dark I was and unapologetic about it.
I was dying to work with her. But for some reason, we ended up meeting and we connected. But I admire her greatly because I feel like she's one of those women who knows how to represent fellow women and support fellow women. So in this toxic industry that we have, if you are not grounded, or if you do not know who you are, or what you stand for, what you believe in, you're going to be taken by anyone and everyone. And especially the girls. If you don't know what you stand for, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you want. Hello? Wave? Are you paying attention? Thank you very much. Mwah. Hey, you guys, we're not here to play. So anyway, I'm telling you, I got to realize that everything that happens in our lives is impactful. And you get to think that it doesn't matter, and you shut it down, like in your subconscious. But every time you sleep, you get some dreams, and you realize those dreams are bringing you to certain things that happen in your life. Support. I choose to raise other people up. Man, woman, whatever it is. I did an interview recently with Flavia on Desert Island, and then she gave me flowers. She said, you are that one person that used to always call us to come do auditions in a time when the film industry was very little, like very tight. But I'm calling her to go do auditions for Channel O. I'm calling Mackenzie to go do auditions for Channel O. And she pointed it out, and I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, she's like, no, you are not being selfish. Yet everyone else should be selfish. I'm like, no, you don't have to be selfish. She's like, no, Cleo, you used to think that the space was enough for all of us. And it is enough for all of us. From YEVUMA, I love me some Nana, because she will shut you down if you're being negative, if you're doing wrong. I love me some Brian's. He has such positivity about him. I love me some Abbas, Hassan, Satisfaction. All the people that you've invited here, Joram. Joram yourself. Brenda Nanyonjo pushed me to do an audition for Changes. You remember? She might not remember. I was not going to National Theatre. She's like, Cleo, go. I'm like, but I'm still working at African Women, and I'm in Obsessions, and I'm in. She's like, go. You will get this part, and you need to.
That's how I broke into the Kenyan market. If I don't listen to Brenda Nanyonjo, I would not have broken into the artistry of acting in the Kenyan market after Last King of Scotland. I thank you for that, Brenda. I've already said it in interviews, but you know they edit. Where is Gloria? They edit and leave out certain things. They focus on the character in the story. But thank you so much. So for me, the toxicity, I don't want toxicity. If you have toxicity, stay far away from me. I don't want negative vibes, y'all.